Jaguars wrapping up practice number 7 on Friday. They're over on the game field for a stadium scrimmage in the afternoon, so it won't be as hot.
Yes,
Justin, we've been out here for all 7. We've been taking fan questions every step of the way. Let's get straight to the mailbag because we got a bunch of these. This one comes from Leon Cohen season. How much of the safeties, how many safeties do you think are going to be on the roster, and how do you think the depth chart ends up?
That's been one of the biggest questions of camp. I think when we talked about this earlier on in camp, I said maybe Ransaw would be in that mix. I don't think he's going to be that starting safety. I think Darnell Savage is probably a starter right now, and I think Eric Murray is probably a starting safety right now.
So Eric Murray is definitely a starter, and then it's between Dewey, Antonio Johnson, and Darnell Savage. I think that Antonio Johnson and Darnell Savage have had the better camps so far. We'll see how it all shakes out, but I'd say I'd give Darnell Savage probably the edge as that opposite safety. All right, let's go to this one from Johnny Stowe 9. Who's having a better camp, Travis Etienne or Tank?
Man, that's tough. This feels like a question.
Come on now. That's what everybody wants to know.
You and I are answering amongst ourselves. I'm going to say Tank. He's looked consistent, and they're two different players because Travis has done a good job catching the ball on swing passes and stuff. Tank is just that straight ahead, full rush runner. And I think he probably fits a little bit better this offense right now, what they're looking for. So I'm going to say right now, as we stand here heading into the stadium practice, I'm going to say Tank by a slim margin.
Give me Tank. I think Tank has had a really good camp. Some of the jump cuts, he looks quick. He looks ready to go. Even after this walkthrough-ish practice that they had on Thursday, Tank was doing laps around the field running. He looks in good shape and ready for more. All right, this one comes from Jags Forever. How has Emanuel Ugba looked in camp?
It's tough to say. There were day 3 of full pads. I think we'll be able to see that a little bit more during the stadium scrimmage as he gets into, but I know the fire was lit under Anton Harrison, so to speak. So, you know, we'll see.
Look, I don't think Emanuel Ugba's made any necessarily splash plays. He also doesn't look like necessarily a liability. I think the combination of Ugba and Smoot additions to that defensive line, I think is going to pay dividends. Both of them have looked solid so far. I've at least noted at least one Ugba sack or would-be sack during 11 on 11.
He's right in that mix.
He's right there
with everybody. I've seen him battling with Anton, but you just can't. You can't tell until you're up in that box and looking and seeing those guys collide and everything. So I like the pairing of him and Smoot a lot.
All right, how about this one? This one's a fun one to wrap up. Joe Concrete 3. How fast do you think Travis Hunter looks?
He looked quick.
Yeah,
he looks quick. And you know, in the Thursday practice, he tipped a pass up. He broke it up. It's back-to-back pass. So he ended up on the ground for 1. And this is the end of practice, day 7, and he just vaults up from his back like almost like a serpentine move, lands on his feet, and gets back out. He looked quick.
Yeah, look, I think Travis Hunter looks fast. I've never once looked at him on the film and been like, wow, he doesn't look fast enough for this. I think the athletic ability is there, and I think the stamina is there, as you mentioned. The athletic ability is absolutely no question mark for Travis Hunter. So Friday is the big stadium practice. We'll have plenty of coverage coming from that. If you want to get caught up with all of the training camp coverage before then, all you got to do, head over to newsforjax.com, click on the Handy Dandy Sports page. You can also track it down over on Instagram if you look for Sports for Jags. Really good way to keep up with the Jags while you're scrolling.